Emily stood outside the small downtown cafe for only a second, but that second felt heavy, like a choice she had been avoiding for years. The glass door showed her reflection, neat coat, tired eyes, a woman who had learned how to look calm even when her heart was not, and she almost walked away, because coming here meant admitting she was lonely, that the quiet house and long evenings had started to echo too loudly since her divorce and since her children had built lives that no longer needed her every day. She pushed the door open anyway, and warmth rushed over her, the sound of low music and soft voices mixing with the smell of coffee, and she told herself she would just sit, drink, think, and leave, nothing more. But as she waited in line, she noticed a man near the counter, tall, relaxed, with an easy smile that did not ask for attention but somehow drew it, and when he laughed at something the barista said, it was not loud or careless, just honest, the kind of laugh that came from comfort with oneself. Emily did not think of age in numbers then, she only thought he looked settled, like someone who had lived enough to be gentle, and that made her feel safe without knowing why. Their eyes met by accident, and he smiled at her, not in a bold way, but in a quiet, respectful way that felt rare, and she felt a small jolt, surprising and unwelcome, because she had not come here for that. She ordered her coffee, stepped aside, and reached for sugar, only to realize she had no change, and before she could turn back, the man slid a coin toward her and said, "I've got it," like it was the most natural thing in the world. She thanked him, their fingers almost touching, and something about that almost felt louder than if they had. They stood close while waiting, and the silence between them did not feel awkward, just open, and when he commented on the weather, how the rain made the city slow down, Emily answered without thinking, and soon they were talking about small things, about how this cafe stayed open late, about favorite books, about how some places felt like pauses in busy lives. The conversation moved quickly, skipping the careful steps Emily was used to, and she noticed how easily he listened, how he did not interrupt, how his eyes stayed on her face instead of drifting to his phone or the door. Time slipped past without warning, and when their drinks were ready, neither of them moved to leave right away, as if both were waiting for permission they did not need. Emily felt awake in a way she had not felt in years, like a light had been turned on inside her chest, and that scared her more than it should have. She reminded herself this was just a moment, just a talk, just a stranger, but moments sometimes carry more weight than long plans. He introduced himself as Daniel, and she said her name, and the way he repeated it, slowly, made it sound important. They sat at a small table by the window, rain tapping softly against the glass, and Daniel spoke about his work, his love for simple routines, how he liked mornings and quiet music, and Emily found herself sharing things she usually kept guarded, not deep secrets, but truths, like how silence can be both peaceful and painful, and how starting over feels brave and lonely at the same time. Daniel nodded, understanding without asking for more, and that understanding wrapped around her like warmth. She noticed the lines around his eyes when he smiled and thought, without question, that he must be close to her age, someone who had also been shaped by life, and the thought allowed her to relax into the feeling growing between them. When she finally checked the time, she was shocked at how late it was, and laughed softly, embarrassed but pleased, and Daniel laughed with her, saying time did that sometimes when conversation was good. As they stood to leave, Emily felt a familiar urge to pull back, to end things neatly before they became complicated, but Daniel looked at her with a gentle seriousness and asked if she would like to meet again, not tomorrow, not with pressure, just sometime, and the way he asked made it feel like an invitation, not a demand. Emily hesitated, hearing the voice of caution she had built over years of disappointment, but another voice, quieter and braver, answered first, and she said yes. They exchanged numbers, and as she stepped back into the rain, coat pulled tight, heart beating faster than it should have, Emily told herself this was harmless, just coffee, just conversation, just a reminder that she was still alive, still capable of being seen. She did not ask Daniel how old he was, and he did not tell her, and as she drove home with the rain blurring the city lights, she had no idea that this small, fast-moving moment, born from a simple mistake, was already setting her on a path that would challenge everything she thought she knew about love, timing, and herself. Emily tried to tell herself that the next meeting would feel ordinary, but it didn't, and from the moment she saw Daniel waiting near the river path, hands in his pockets, smile soft and steady, she felt that same lift in her chest, the one she had almost forgotten how to name. They walked without a plan, talking as if they had already shared years instead of hours, their words moving quickly from simple topics to deeper ones, from favorite memories to quiet regrets, and Emily noticed how Daniel spoke about the future with hope instead of fear, as if life was still opening for him instead of closing in. Days passed and meetings followed, never rushed but never dull, dinners that turned into long talks, short walks that stretched into evenings, and Emily found herself laughing more, sleeping better, and feeling something warm return to places inside her that had gone quiet. She told herself she was being careful, that she was staying realistic, but every time Daniel looked at her like she mattered in the present, not as a memory or a phase, her defenses weakened. He did not treat her like someone fragile or finished, he treated her like someone alive, and that made her feel both strong and exposed. One evening, as they sat in her parked car after a simple meal, the city lights reflecting in the windshield, Daniel grew unusually quiet, his fingers resting still on his knee, his breath slower, and Emily sensed a shift, the kind that arrives before truth. He said her name gently, not smiling this time, and told her there was something he should have shared sooner, something that felt bigger now because of how much he cared, and Emily felt a flicker of unease but nodded, ready to hear whatever it was. When Daniel told her his age, he did not rush the words or soften them, and they landed between them like a dropped glass, not shattered, but changed. Emily stared at him, certain she had misheard, then laughed in disbelief, waiting for him to smile back, but he didn't, and in that moment reality pressed in hard. Numbers rushed through her mind, birthdays, years, timelines, and the distance between them suddenly felt wider than the car they sat in. She looked at his face again, searching for the boy she was supposed to see, but all she saw was the man who had made her feel understood, and that confusion hurt more than anger would have. The word younger echoed in her thoughts, not as judgment, but as fear, fear of what people would say, of what this would mean, of how time would treat them differently. Daniel spoke calmly, explaining that he never meant to hide anything, that it simply never came up, that what he felt for her was real and steady, and that he hoped this truth would not erase what they had built. Emily listened but struggled to breathe past the weight of her own doubts, and she whispered that he was way younger than she thought, not accusing him, but stating a fact she could not ignore. Silence filled the car, heavy but respectful, and Daniel did not reach for her or argue. He waited, letting her feel what she needed to feel, and that patience hurt more than pressure would have. Emily thought of her life, of the years she had already lived, of the plans she no longer made, and wondered how she could stand beside someone whose future stretched so much further ahead. She feared becoming a pause in his story instead of a chapter, feared holding him back without meaning to, feared loving someone who might one day resent the difference they both chose to ignore. Daniel finally spoke again, softly, saying he did not see her age when he looked at her, that he saw her strength, her honesty, her warmth, and that the connection they shared did not feel temporary to him. Emily wanted to believe him, but belief felt risky, and risk felt like something she had already spent too much of her life on. She told him she needed time, not as a rejection, but as a way to steady herself, and Daniel nodded, accepting the space without bitterness, though disappointment flickered in his eyes. When Emily stepped out of the car and walked toward her front door, she felt older than she had in years, not because of Daniel's age, but because of how quickly joy had turned into uncertainty. That night, lying awake, she replayed every moment, every laugh, every shared look, wondering how something that felt so right could suddenly feel so complicated, and realizing that the truth was not just that Daniel was younger than she thought, but that what she felt for him was deeper than she was ready to admit, and that knowledge, once known, could not be undone. Emily decided to end it on a quiet morning, the kind that usually gave her clarity, but clarity did not come. Only a tight feeling in her chest as she rehearsed sensible words about timing, balance, and reality, words adults use when emotions grow too big to control. She met Daniel in a small park, trees bare and sky pale, and she spoke quickly before courage could fade, telling him that the age gap mattered, that their lives were in different places, that she did not want to be the reason he paused his future or questioned his choices later. Daniel listened without interrupting, his face calm but his eyes heavy, and when she finished, he did not argue or defend himself. He only said he understood her fear even if he did not share it, and that he respected her honesty more than easy comfort. He told her he never expected her to pretend the difference did not exist, only to consider whether what they felt was strong enough to stand beside it, and those words stayed with her long after they walked away in opposite directions. Days passed slowly, then faster, but none of them felt full, and Emily returned to her routine believing it would steady her, yet everything felt duller, meals tasted flat, evenings stretched long, and sleep came late, filled with memories of Daniel's voice and the way he listened as if her words mattered. She tried to distract herself with work, friends, familiar noise, but nothing reached the place where Daniel had settled so quietly, and she began to realize that ending something does not always erase it, sometimes it sharpens it. Emily questioned herself constantly, wondering if she had done the mature thing or the fearful one, and she recognized the pattern too well, the habit of choosing safety over desire, of closing doors before they could surprise her. One night, alone in her living room, she caught her reflection in the dark window and saw not a woman protecting herself, but one hiding from hope, and that realization hurt more than the age difference ever had. She admitted, finally, that she was not afraid of what others might think, or even of time passing faster for her than for him. She was afraid of feeling this much again and losing it, because loss feels heavier when you believe you had your last chance already. When Daniel's name appeared on her phone days later, her heart raced, and she almost ignored it, but something inside her refused to stay silent, and she answered, hearing caution in his voice as he asked how she was, not pushing, not demanding, just checking in. Emily told him the truth she had been avoiding, that she missed him, not the idea of him, but the way he made her feel present, and Daniel exhaled softly, as if he had been holding his breath, and said he felt the same but did not want to cross lines she had drawn. They agreed to meet again, not to solve everything, but to talk, and when they sat across from each other in a quiet cafe, the space between them felt charged but careful, both of them aware that this moment mattered. Emily spoke openly, faster than usual, admitting her fears, her doubts, her sense that time had taught her to retreat instead of reach, and Daniel listened, steady and grounded, saying he did not see their connection as a risk, but as a choice, one that required honesty and patience, not denial. He told her he was not asking for promises or forever, only for the chance to walk forward together and see where the path led, and his words did not sound reckless, they sounded thoughtful, which surprised her. Emily realized then that maturity did not belong to an age, it belonged to how someone handled uncertainty, and Daniel handled it with care, not urgency. They did not touch much that day, but when they did, a brief brush of hands, it felt like reassurance instead of tension, and as they parted, Emily understood that walking away would no longer bring peace, because the question of what could have been would follow her louder than any doubt. That night, she lay awake again, but this time her thoughts were clearer, and she accepted that love does not wait for perfect conditions, it arrives when it chooses, and the real choice is whether to meet it with fear or faith. Emily knew there were no guarantees ahead, only moments to be lived honestly, and by morning, she had decided that whatever pain might come would be easier to face than the regret of never trying, because some connections, once felt, do not fade quietly, they ask to be answered. Emily did not announce her decision or mark it with dramatic words, she simply began choosing Daniel again, one honest moment at a time, and that choice felt both heavy and freeing as they moved forward with care instead of rush, letting their relationship grow in small, steady ways. They learned each other's rhythms, how Daniel liked early mornings and quiet music, how Emily needed slow evenings and time to reflect, and instead of clashing, those differences softened into balance. They faced the world together, aware of curious looks and careful questions, but they did not let those moments define them, because what mattered most happened when they were alone, sharing laughter over simple meals, walking through familiar streets, building comfort without losing respect. Emily still felt waves of doubt, moments when she wondered if time would one day pull them apart, but she no longer let fear make decisions for her, and when those thoughts came, Daniel met them with calm honesty, never dismissing her concerns, never promising what he could not control. He spoke about the future without certainty but with intention, and Emily learned to accept that uncertainty does not weaken love, it deepens it when both people choose to stay present. She told a close friend the truth one evening, expecting judgment, but received quiet support instead, and that eased a weight she did not realize she was carrying, reminding her that not every story needs approval to be real. Daniel introduced her to his world slowly, not hiding her, not placing her on display, just letting her belong naturally, and Emily felt respected in ways she had long stopped expecting. There were difficult conversations, honest ones about health, aging, energy, and the pace of life, but they spoke openly, choosing understanding over comfort, and each conversation left them stronger, not weaker. Emily realized she was not losing herself by loving someone younger. She was rediscovering parts of herself that had been buried under responsibility and routine, parts that laughed easily, hoped quietly, and trusted again. Time passed, marked not by big milestones but by shared moments, mornings with coffee, evenings with conversation, days that felt full simply because they were shared, and Emily noticed that she no longer counted years as limits, but as chapters already lived, each one giving her more to offer, not less. One evening, as they stood overlooking the city lights, the air cool and still, Daniel took her hand, his grip gentle but certain, and said he did not know what the future would bring, only that he wanted to face it with honesty and respect, and that being with her made his life richer, not smaller. Emily felt tears rise, not from fear this time, but from recognition, because she understood that love is not about matching timelines, it is about choosing to walk together while paths align. She thought of the woman who once stood outside a cafe, unsure and guarded, and barely recognized her now, because the woman she had become was braver, more open, and willing to risk joy even if it came with uncertainty. Emily squeezed Daniel's hand and told him she was not promising forever, only presence, and Daniel smiled, accepting that promise as enough, because presence is where love lies. They stayed there for a while, not speaking, letting the moment exist without pressure, and Emily felt at peace in a way she had not felt in years, not because everything was settled, but because she was no longer running from feeling alive. She knew challenges would come, that time would ask difficult questions, but she also knew that love, when chosen with honesty and care, is worth the risk, even when it arrives in unexpected form, even when it is way younger than you thought.